A couple of weeks ago, I introduced you to Atlas Reactor. Now, at the time, the game was in open beta, but I was already genuinely impressed by how well it was running. However, after reading the comments, a lot of you still had questions about other characters and really about how the MOBA aspect of this turn-based strategy goes. Now, in case you missed the first video, I will leave that down below in the description of this one because I do go over all of the basics and really everything that you need to know. And while I definitely will address the basics in this one as well, the primary focus is to show off what the support category as well as the frontliner category is going to be all about. Now, before jumping into the game, I do want to give a thank you to Tryon Worlds for sponsoring this video. Now, in the first video, I introduced you to Lockwood. He's a straight up damage dealer in the game and he's pretty straightforward to understand as well. But today, we're gonna get started with none other than Quark. Now, Quark is very interesting as he can deal damage at the same time as he is also healing up his allies. So first off, we got my basic ability known as the Gamma Ray. This attaches a bond to an enemy. As you can see, it's a relatively short cast range. But the interesting thing is that it doesn't just deal damage on initial impact, but it actually continuously deals damage at the beginning of every single turn. Very, very helpful, but as you may read right there as well, the bond breaks if the enemy gets too far away. And the same really goes for the Atomic Bond, which is my second ability right here. This attaches a bond to an ally that restores health at any given time when they are close by at the beginning of every single turn. However, if they get too far away, this bond also breaks. The third ability is Radiate, and this is really where this character shines. This increases the strength of one of my bonds by 10, but I'm running with the modification right here called Atomic Power that makes it so this both hits the enemy as well as the ally. And what this means is that in every single turn I can activate Radiate, and what happens is that I increase the strength of both of my bonds as long as these are initially active already. So if I've got a Gamma Ray attached to an opponent and I got an Atomic Bond attached to an ally, I can increase the healing as well as the damage that I do every single turn by using Radiate, and this makes it a super powerful and interesting character. Next up, we got the Quantum Collision. This dashes towards a location adjacent to an enemy or ally, and what I can use this for is to attach a bond to them as well. Sometimes it's pretty difficult to hit the Gamma Ray on one of the opposing heroes, so you can use the Quantum Collision for that. But I think for the most part, I use this as sort of like a defensive tool to make sure that I get to safety, as I am going to be relatively low in HP. And then last but not least, I got the Positronic Surge. This unleashes a blast of energy that restores 32 health and energizes allies until the end of the turn. And basically what this means is that all of the allies that are nearby are going to be healed up and they're going to be able to use their ultimates a little bit faster. As far as my catalysts go, I'm running with Turtle Tech, Shift, as well as Second Wind. And honestly, those are just the most straight up defensive catalysts that I can pick. And as far as my taunts go, not the most interesting ones, but I've got the basics.
Your team is ready.
Alrighty. So welcome to Evo's laboratory. Now, the one thing to keep in mind is that in order to be efficient, I need to be close to my allies. So really, as far as my positioning goes, at the very least initially, I do want to make sure that I'm at the very least relatively close by to where my allies are at. Now, I also want to go ahead and attach my Gamma Ray to one of the opposing heroes. Really important for me to try and be at the very least reasonably close to them. So I'm going to go ahead and attach my Gamma Ray here to Rask, who is going to be their tank. And then I'm going to be backing up. Now, the thing about Rask is that normally he jumps forward and he starts dealing quite a lot of damage. So I think as long as I am, attaching my race to all of the, oh, Pup is right behind him. I may actually attach to him instead now. But, as long as I am, focusing on the tanks, usually that seems to be a good decision. A whole lot of damage here being dealt to Pup already. I do get my Gamma Ray on him. And you can see, because of the mod that I went with on the Gamma Ray, I'm going to be able to deal a little bit of additional damage. Now, every single turn that goes by, as you can see, Pup is still in range here. Every single turn that goes by, I'm going to be able to deal additional damage to him. Now, he will more than likely, it's all about predicting where he's going to move, right? He will more than likely move towards, I would say the left here, to try and go after our Asana. So I'm going to move forward here just an inch myself, while using my healing beam here on none other than Juno. Now, the funny thing is that I'm sure that many of you that, watch these videos know how Overwatch works. The funny thing is that this hero feels very, very similar to how, for example, Overwatch plays out with the hero known by the name of Zenyatta. You always have, one defensive beam, one offensive beam, and you're always trying to make sure that you're at the very least in range of the enemies as well as the allies, because otherwise your beams aren't being nearly as effective. I would say though that probably positioning is the most important thing on this hero by far. Anyhow, this is a good example. I can go ahead and use my Radiate here. Since I do have both the Gamma Ray as well as the Atomic Bond attached to two heroes, I'm gonna go ahead and use my Radiate here and then move a little bit over once again. Now what's gonna happen is that the Radiate, since the, mod that I went with is gonna, hit 2 targets, very, very cool. But the Radiate will allow me to both increase the healing to my ally, as well as increase the damage output to their hero. Makes for a very, very powerful play here. So there we go, increase that healing. We do see a little bit of a taunt. Sadly Pup does teleport away, so I'm not gonna be able to deal additional damage to him here. Little bit disappointing. But all is good. Cool. So far, so good. Rask currently is stuck. Ideally, though, we do go after their tank. Or after their healer. So you know what? I think I'm gonna move over to the opposing hero's Quark. And at the very least try and do some damage to him. Now Juno will have to move up north here as well. Should be pretty straightforward. Orion also doing a whole bunch of damage there. Pretty good. But it's been really, really fun. It's just that positioning is so very important. If you've got better positioning than your opposing heroes, usually you're gonna be in a good spot. If you're... Oh man, wow. If you're, poorly positioned, since I am relatively low HP, it's very difficult to really get, the damage in as well. Nice place there, actually. Lockwood already taking a lot of damage, and he does end up falling here. Gotta keep in mind that we end up winning as long as we manage to get 5 kills, or after getting most kills, after a couple of turns go by. 20 turns in total. And once more, as you can see, it does hit through walls. My bonds are connected, so I'm gonna activate my Radiate to do additional damage, and I'm also gonna taunt them. Just because the taunts are really cute. I was gonna go after that Quark, but you know what? Way too flimsy. I'm gonna hang out here with the team instead. Asana can go after him. Okay, so here we go. So this is... It's working. If it burns, it's working. Here's where my abilities go down. You can see, it's quite powerful. It does a lot. Very solid healing there. Gonna also be able to do some additional damage now to their Rask. And actually, it deals a lot of damage. A lot more than you might anticipate. As you can see, that's 32 damage. Very, very good. I do have to get out of here, though. Because I'm in a very vulnerable position right now. I think I'm gonna do... exactly that, using my 4th ability here. I don't want to be hit by Pup here either. I think I'm gonna be in the back here instead. I'm gonna heal up Asana. Asana can obviously provide some shielding here as well. So basically what I just used is going to be my 4th ability, Quantum Collision. I dash towards the target and then I can set up my positioning in one square around them. And that happens during the dash phase. Gotta be able to heal up Juno before I leave. Very good. And there is a bunch of dashing here going on, but I should at the very least not be taking all too much damage here for the time being. Juno has been standing in the same position for quite a while. Anyhow, in case you are interested in giving this game a try, I will leave a link that will take you to the official webpage. I do get a takedown there. Down below in the description of this video. It will give you all the information that you need. Now, one thing to note is that there is indeed a free-to-play version available of this game as well. So, if you are interested whatsoever, I would highly recommend giving it a try. Because it's really freaking awesome if you enjoy these type of games. It's really fun. I am, like, personally, or, like, honestly, I am genuinely enjoying myself. It's so fun to mess around with. In particular, obviously, if you've got some Discord, group chatting going on, that can help out a ton. Because communication is really important. But it's much easier to read what your allies are going to do than what it seemed to be during the open beta. I feel much more comfortable here. Okay. Now I've got my ulti here ready to go. As you can see, both Asana as well as Orion here are at low HP. And you gotta keep in mind that my ulti reaches a really big circle. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my Pulsatronic Surge here. This will obviously empower all of the allies and keep them alive for a little while longer, and then I'm going to be moving closer once again as well. One thing to note about my ultimate is that it does heal myself too, which is actually real important. But here we go. You ready? Ready for the ultis? 3, 2, 1. Poof. And everyone in that circle gets healed up and energized, and it makes everyone significantly more powerful. And actually, their Quark just used the exact same ability.
Behold, an angel of vengeance.
Behold, an angel of vengeance. I just took a ton of damage there, though. Nice little knockback there. I don't have any healing going on any of my allies right now. I am kind of interested in using my abilities here to deal additional damage to Quark. But I may be better off using my healing here on Asana instead. Now I'm also going to go ahead and hit up my turtle tech. This is one of my catalysts. I can use that to stop myself from taking damage here. Or I at the very least have some more shielding for 1 turn, 30 shielding, very helpful. The reason why I'm activating it here is because there's a big chance that 2 of the allies are indeed going to, or 2 of the enemies rather, are going to be hitting me. I will probably be taking damage in this particular turn, and I don't have my 4th ability ready to go. So as you can see right there, Lockwood decided to hit me. But it only really ended up dealing 6 damage to me, which is not all that much. And it allows me to be a little bit more greedy with my positioning and not really have to worry about the survivability. Beautiful. Beautiful combos there. Super nice. Now sadly our Asana does get taken out. But it's already 3 for 1. That is going to be an advantage. Now Orion's still in a bit of a vulnerable position. I think I'm going to do a bit of a healing round. So I'm going to grab the healing right there. And also use my 2nd wind ability. Probably the best option. Playing too greedy here. Definitely not the correct option. Or at the very least, normally it isn't. Ryan did end up falling there. Not much we could do about that. He's still going to be taking some damage, even in death. And actually, we do take Pup with us. So, 1 more kill, and we do obtain a victory here. Heals and feels. And you know what? I think we're in a safe enough position right now to start dealing some damage to their Rask as well. I am gonna grab the Energizer here and then move around towards the other bush. Juno isn't really gonna end up falling here. Ooh. Very nice. We've got to be careful though. He does have his ultimate, which is like a massive area of effect spell. I think we should probably just go after Rask though. I'm gonna go ahead and radiate here. I'm gonna go ahead and radiate here, and you know what? I'm actually kind of happy with my positioning right now. It's usually a good measure though to at the very least move around somewhat, so I'll just dash in between here. Asana trying to go after Lockwood I'm taking here, I'm guessing. Sadly my radiate isn't gonna do a whole lot here. Nice hit there. A lot of their heroes are starting to run low, and their Quark is way out of position. Our Orion is back too. We've got to be careful of their Pup though. Pup deals a stupid amount of damage. I've had a lot of games where Pup just sort of murders everyone. Can I heal? No, I'm just barely not having to reach here. I'm gonna go ahead and heal up Asana here, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and follow her as well. All we need to do right now is just stay alive for a little while longer, get 1 more kill, and we're gonna be okay. Thank you very much there for the heals as well. My teammate attaching the bond to Asana.
Can you keep up?
And the reason why I'm dashing close to her is so that we can hopefully group up against their tank, which will more than likely grant us the victory here. Now, the fights are definitely very centralized, or not centralized right now, making this rather difficult for us. But I think we'll be okay here. Going full after Rask right now. 1 more kill. We can take some risks now, because it still is 3 deaths for us before we really, are in any kind of issue. Rask is getting healed up quite aggressively here, though. You gotta keep in mind, he's still a tank. Maybe this is a bit too greedy for us, actually, to go after him. Actually, Orion is in a bit of trouble here, too, so it's not quite game over just yet. I'm going to be dealing some additional damage to him. He's at 1 HP. Orion, take him! Good job. Good job. So, with that, we get our 5th takedown, and therefore we do obtain the victory. So, I gotta be honest, support classes in this game, they're extremely fun. They're really, really good as well. Very, very fun characters to play with, and I would highly recommend them if you enjoy playing support in any of the other games out there. I personally play a lot of support in any kind of MOBA, or, you know, I guess in Overwatch as well. I play quite a lot of support there, which definitely does help out. But you can see, both my damage output, it's not going to be quite as high as some of the other, you know, damage dealers and dedicated, you know, DPSs out there, such as, for example, you know, any of my teammates here, really. They're much better at dealing damage than me, but I've got a significant amount of healing done compared to them as well. The next game we're gonna play is gonna be with a frontliner, and we're playing with none other than He-Man himself. No, not quite. But we are gonna be running with Titus, a nomadic warrior who has come from the waste to destroy his enemies and atone for his past. Now, I am running with this beautiful, fabulous skin, which looks absolutely amazing. Very, very, very cool. I couldn't resist getting this one. It looks way too fabulous. Anyhow, first we'll go over the abilities. Now, what he is a frontliner, and what this means is that he's going to be in the middle of combat as often as possible, and really that is where his abilities are based around of as well. So his first basic attack is called the overhead slam. Basically what this does is that it chops at the enemies, dealing 26 damage, but it just hits everyone in front of him in a rather wide arc. Very, very helpful. Then his second ability, which does have 4 turn cooldown, is called the Berserker Charge. And what you can use this for is to rush forward. It deals damage to enemies that are hit by it, but it basically rushes him to the middle of combat and allows you to really get some, you know, additional work in. Very helpful. Then we got the Thundering Roar, a free action. So this means that I can use this in combination with, for example, my overhead slam. Unleashes a thunderous roar, causing enemies to become weak until the end of the turn. So what happens is that I will be able to, you know, basically make them a little bit more vulnerable. Now we've got my Dirty Fighting. This is mostly used whenever I am, you know, at a bit of more of a distance, so I'm not really in the middle of combat and I can't use my overhead slam. Basically what happens is that I fling a dagger at an enemy's weak spot, causing them to take an additional 25 indirect damage as soon as they are hit by a direct damaging ability from me or from any of my allies. And last but not least, we got the Death Blow as well. This ravages the land, basically just, you know, hits a massive slam right in front of me, and everyone caught in a huge arc will take damage. Now, as far as my catalysts go, I am running with the exact same setup, and the reason for that is quite simple. I could be running with the critical shot, but really survivability is what I'm going here for, you know? I really need to make sure that I'm gonna be able to sustain myself. Same goes for shift, same goes for second wind, just to keep myself alive for a little while longer. And as far as my taunt goes, just got the default ones.
Mission starting.
Okay, so welcome to the Omni Reactor core. Now, I do want to make sure that I'm at the very least reasonably close to my allies. I'm, you know, definitely pretty tanky. I'm definitely a frontliner, but I don't have a ton of sustain. I'm not like a Raz, for example, who really shines at, you know, being able to sustain themselves. I do want to run forward here to, at the very least, right behind cover. Reason being is that I can use my Thundering Roar here if I need to at the very least keep some damage in. I think Garrus, you know what, that's not gonna do all too much. We'll go ahead and overhead slam here instead, and I think I'm just simply gonna stay where I'm already at. And we'll taunt. Real important, the taunt. Seriously though, I look exactly like He-Man, is it just me? Get him! Alright. So sadly my ability right now is not gonna hit anyone. Ooh, nice guest hit there. Barazuki.
You have my attention now.
Oof, and there Nyx and Aurora are actually in a really powerful position. Yeah, Orion almost taking lethal damage here already. Wow!
Chaos comes for you.
Well, chaos comes for you, Loki, as soon as you miss everyone that you were aiming for. You were looking the most badass you could be there, but... Alright. Time for the overhead slam this time around. I could try and go for the hit here. Fine, we'll go for it. We'll go for it. Then go for the taunt this time around. Orion, get out of there, dude! This game has just begun! We can't use a loss like that already. So I did use my my Thundering Roar there. And I also did push forward. Dealing a whole bunch of splash damage to them. Very good. And Garrison missing his ability. That's huge. Okay, he didn't quite miss everything.
Never underestimate my range.
Oh man, Orion, please don't die! How are you not dead? You have 1 HP. I don't even know how you managed that. Now, Overhead Slam is great when people are grouped up. And I can use it here on Blackburn as well, I suppose. Small chance he's actually gonna get out of here, but I do want to get a little bit closer towards the middle of combat once more. Because we're gonna be heading over. Overhead Slam first. Okay. He does end up healing me. So there we go. That's the Overhead Slam right there. As you can see, it hits quite heavily, and since it hits area of effect, since you can hit several enemies at once, it's a super powerful ability. Zuki, no. Why are you that far forward to begin with, though? So you can see their Garrison is a true tank. It deals so much damage. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to focus here on hitting Garrison just like that. You can see, by the way, the little arrow or the number right there that indicates how much damage you're gonna do to him. You do, you know, deal more damage if you're caught in the middle of it. I'm gonna move over towards the healing. They're more than likely gonna move here towards the middle. Oh, I could have actually slammed through the wall after all. Garrison is so tanky though, it's very difficult to take him out. Ooh, nice hit there. Zuki does end up falling. And actually, so far, this is looking extremely good for the opposing team. Oh my god, the double kill as well. I mean, I wanted to... Alright, fine. I'll try and charge back into the combat, I suppose. I don't really want to make this a 1 versus 1 against Garrison, though. Just because... I'm gonna be caught in that circle. I'm not sure. I think it's our best bet, though, because I need to save Ali here as well, but... I'm gonna be taking a bunch of damage here. Cooldown on those abilities are rather long, you know, so I have to be, at the very least, careful about where I'm positioning myself. Alright. He's starting to run at least reasonably low, and actually is a great spot for my overhead slam. I'm gonna use my overhead slam here at the same time as I'll also use my turtle tech. So the turtle tech will prevent me from taking, you know, 30 damage this turn. It only gives me this turn though, but I'm more than likely gonna take more than 30 damage here this single turn here. Very likely. He may just jump out. Oh no. Oh no. Here we go. So that's a sick overhead slam. Close to hitting my ulti here as well.
I can see your future.
Oh my god. Ali just got murdered here. And I nearly have my ulti, but just barely not enough just yet. I would have had such a great spot for my ulti here. Alright, you know what? Here's what we do. I'm gonna try and stay in range of where the enemies are at. And I'm gonna use my second wind here to make sure that I'm alive. And then next turn we'll go ahead and use our Thundering Roar as well as our ulti. This is a risk though, but I think we need to do something here to come back. They are looking extremely good. They're all super low. They're all super low, so as long as they stay clumped up like this, that would be great for us.
You picked the wrong side of this war. Embrace the inner beast.
Come on. Oh, nice. That's good. Good job. Okay. Got my ulti. I'm gonna go ahead and use it. So look at that range, right? We know the Garrison is stuck in that bush right there. We're gonna use the Thundering Roar here initially. We're gonna taunt them as well. But then we're gonna use our, you know, improved overhead slam, I suppose, to heal even, or to hit even more enemies. I hope no one's gonna get out of here. We do get a nice little bit of healing. The issue about my ulti, though, is that it's getting used during the... Oh, well, that's even better! It's getting used during the blast phase. And the blast phase is really, you know, obviously the moment where things are rather difficult. And a lot of people could have already gotten out of trouble. Zuki is going to be able to deal damage here. And actually, with my overhead slam 2.0, gonna be able to get a double takedown. So that was good. But the issue is that one more death and we lose this game. Nyx is right over there. Gonna be able to charge at him. Let's go. This obviously goes down during the dash phase. Got him. I just don't want to die myself here. Please don't die, Loco.
3, 2, 1, fire!
Okay, 4v4. 4v4 right now. This could still go bad. One tiny mistake and I'm dead. I don't really have a whole lot of sustain anymore. Ideally, I do get another ulti going, but I think I'm just simply gonna head back to my original position. Actually, I'm gonna move forward around the corner, and then if I can, I'm gonna head back there. Yep. Just trying to get up some ulti charge here. There's a chance I could still get one here. There's still 9 turns remaining. Okay, that will respawned. I did get weak there on me, so no sprinting for me, sadly. And I think I'm just simply gonna have to sprint towards the healing here next. Knowing the maximum distances you can sprint at is hugely important. So much value, but I don't think we're gonna be able to kill them. We're actually in a vulnerable position. Everyone's called together here.
They say murder is in cold blood.
I got my my second ability, my charge, ready to go as well after this one. Okay. Oh, no way. That's unfair, dude. That's unfair, Aurora. Alright, so who's the lowest? Blackburn? I'm gonna hit him just like this. I can hit him just like this. It deals enough damage here to take out Blackburn. This goes off during the dash phase. As long as I stay alive myself, we're in a good place.
Eyes on me.
Alright. Not quite enough. No way. No way. No way. Nyx. Nyx is so scary. He deals so much damage. Okay, I got my Thundering Shout here once again. Or Thundering Roar, rather. And I'm gonna move into the healing.
Commence.
Thundering Roar, overhead slam. Oh, thanks very much. Huge heal there. Why don't we just focus on Blackburn, dudes? He's so low. Oh no, Zuki. Zuki, no. He could have died there to Aurora. Garrison, please, no. Garrison, no. Oh. We both have 5 kills.
On the mend.
Alright. Alright. So what happens now is that we need to get another kill in. We can rush at Garrison, I suppose. This is risky, though.
Like water in the waste.
I'll find you, near or far.
Aurora is very low. Nice ulti there. Nearly have my own ulti ready to go again as well. After this turn, anyway, we're gonna be reasonably close. And these matches are really good, though. Alright. 5 turns remaining as well. I'm gonna go ahead and use my overhead slam here. It's gonna hit Aurora. And I think I'm gonna follow her. That's a bit scary, because I don't know where she's gonna be heading, but I think it's the correct choice. Alright, 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 alright. I think we got it. I think we got it. None of us are going to die here, I don't think. We got her at the very least. Oh, what? She had her ulti ready to go. No way!
Defeat.
She was already dead. But considering she had her ulti queued up and she didn't have the death blow on her, that does mean that they're gonna end up taking the victory. Wow. So even though that second game turned out to be a little bit unlucky, I hope you understand a little bit better how the support as well as the Frontline class work right now in Atlas Reactor. Really fun game. Once again, link is down below in the description of the video if you want to go ahead and check it out. But other than that, I do want to thank you all very much so for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright? And I will see you in the next one.